solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind in the darkness, all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be, for justice wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When pennies gone, busters run, no victims left to pay. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? Hello, Ginger Girl. Ava, if you're here, it's good to have you. I saw that you posted earlier. And I had never heard of Tabitha Tutors, so I did look her up. We'll discuss her a little bit tonight. So yeah, you know, just got to looking at things. Hello, Pam. Good to see you. Got to looking at things and realized how many children are missing in Tennessee. And just Tennessee alone, guys. Hello, Samantha. Good to see you. Good to have you. And so I started looking up some things on it. Guys, I mean, I knew there was a lot of missing children in Tennessee, but I did not realize the extent of it. As of right now, there are 141 Tennessee children missing as of today. Get this, an average, guys, of 500 to 600 kids under the age of 18 go missing, not every year, every month in Tennessee. Every month. That's an average of 500 to 600 kids every month. That is crazy. The majority of those are considered runaways or parental abductions with no suspected threat of danger to the child. As of this month, state and federal databases showed that 141 Tennessee children, including those who have since turned 18, remain missing. To me, that's incredible stats. Hello, Brenda Joe. Good to see you. And when I saw this, I was like, I know, isn't that crazy, Pam? I was blown away. I was just blown away. It's horrific to think that 500 to 600 kids a month go missing in Tennessee. 500 to 600. That's a lot of kids. And I was thinking about, because I watched, I saw Joe Petito not too long ago. I don't remember where I saw him, but he was talking, and he was talking about all of the publicity that Gabby got, right? And, people say, well, blonde hair, blue eyes, and he was saying how that shouldn't be, right? Everybody needs the kind of, publicity that Gabby got, the kind of publicity that Sebastian gets, and now even at night, is adding Summer Wells to their, billboards. Because it's true, right? And and I was thinking about that. I've just kind of been tossing something around in my mind about, I don't know, maybe doing a missing person segment. I don't know how often. Honestly, guys, if we're talking 5 to 600 kids every month in Tennessee, well, how many go missing daily in the United States? Right? I think I'm going to Google that. I didn't Google that. How many children go missing in the U.S. monthly? So, huh. I don't know. I didn't get a quick answer on it like I did about Tennessee. Okay, let's see. Wow. Well, I got it daily. 2,300 children go missing every day in the United States. That's crazy. Isn't that right, Neuroby? One child missing is one too many. That's right. And then I thought, well, I'm just a small channel, right? But, I mean, should that deter me from doing something? Um, you know, a segment once a week, or I mean, something, right? It doesn't even have to be that long. I don't know. I started looking and tried to get information on these kids, and I started Googling on them. Guys, some of these, other than being an NC National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, other than being there, let's see, I'm going to share my screen with you so you know what I'm talking about. There. Okay. And I'll take this off of there. So, now, like, Alexis Daly's been missing since April 19th, 2025. So I clicked on her to find out information about her, right? And there's nothing there other than she was last seen. We know nothing about her other than her face and her name and how old she is. So then I tried to Google her. There was another Alexis Daly that went missing in 2024. It's not the same girl. There's nothing about her. So how does this happen? In our day and age, how does this happen? How does this happen that a missing child, there's nothing on her? There's nothing saying what she was wearing. There's nothing saying, and guys, we can even look at here. I'll show you. So we can click on print poster because I thought, well, surely the poster is going to have more if they want me to print it, right? Nothing. Nothing. So I was like, I don't know what to say. There's just nothing there. That's all there is. Last seen on April 19th. Nothing. How does this happen? You know, I've talked about it for a long time. Oh, on Monday, huh? Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I know all of us have for a while. America's Most Wanted for Sebastian. Do we have any stats on how much funding is allocated towards missing children? No. I honestly didn't look that up. But it's been on my heart lately. I mean, very heavily, to know that there are kids out there who are missing and there's nothing on them. And why do some kids get picked up and not others? I mean, think about it, guys. We know everything about Sebastian's case right now that we can know, right? There's nothing, I don't think, that's going to come out about it unless there's some kind of tip that comes out and someone gets arrested, right? Yet everyone wants to hear about Sebastian. And I understand that because we want news on him, but we can't make it happen. You guys know me. I am not the type of person to go and make things up and have some drama, right? I'm not going to do it. But how does that happen where kids like Sebastian get the publicity and kids like Alexis, there's nothing. There's not even a newspaper article out there about her that I can find, guys. I spent about 15 minutes trying to find it. I could not find anything. I looked in different search engines even. Nothing. I know where she went missing from, Nashville. I mean, I researched it. If any newspapers had picked it up, it would have shown up on my search engines. Why? Maybe she ran away. Well, so what? She's still missing. A mother or a father wants her home. She's still not where she's supposed to be. It doesn't matter if she ran away, right? I remember a year after Sebastian went missing, a girl aged 15 years old went missing. I never heard what happened or if she was safe. Are you talking Stephanie Damron? Was that her name, Neural? Because if it is, she's still missing, but there's nothing about her either. I never thought about that. I don't know if the QR code showed any other information. Good question. You know, bear with me. I'm a grandma here. Those things don't click with me like. Let me see. I will try real quickly here. It goes to missingkids.org. No, it goes right to this page, guys, with the same thing. It goes right to the same page that I'm on right now with her picture and exactly what is here. Nothing more. So, no, that didn't work. Yes, it was. Yeah. I keep looking, Neuro, because I did talk about Stephanie Damron a while back when she went missing. Um, and I keep watching to see if there's any news. No, she's still missing. No news. Elizabeth Smart's going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers' whereabouts. Interesting. Huh. That's interesting. Um, so the missing and exploited, and I looked it up just for Tennessee alone, and it said 103. And yeah, you can scroll down and you can see all these kids, you know, 15, 16, 17 years old. Look at Jasper Spears, December 7th, 2024, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Camia Smith, Memphis, Tennessee. I mean, it's page after page, guys. There's Sebastian. And you really have to wonder how much trafficking is involved in this, right? There's Summer Wells. Look at this one, a John Doe. So I clicked on it to see. This one has a little bit more information. On March 26, 2020, a fisherman found the body of a newborn baby floating along the banks of Melton Hill Lake in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. The area is located near the intersection of Melton Lake Drive and Edgemoor Road. Authorities have finally named the infant child baby Wyatt, meaning little warrior. He had been deceased less than 24 hours and was estimated to be approximately 34 weeks gestational age. He was noted to have black, fine, abundant, curly hair. Unfortunately, due to environmental conditions, his race is currently unknown. A long-sleeved, dark-colored plaid shirt was recovered with the infant. A digitally created image of the shirt is featured, along with the facial reconstruction created by an NCMEC forensic artist, and depicts what the child may have looked like in life. Authorities are actively collaborating with external forensic professionals to identify baby Wyatt through the use of forensic genealogy. And that was the shirt right there that was found with that baby. So not really missing, but the family is missing. We don't know where he's from, right? Just sad, right? Just sad. Hello, Canine. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, there's definitely child trafficking in Tennessee. And the reason that we have been told it's huge in Tennessee is because Tennessee is kind of a hub for a lot of the major highways across the US meet near Nashville. 65, 24, 40. You know, so kind of an area that any major highway, you know, get to. So I don't know. I just found earlier today on Facebook where in Wisconsin they arrested 9 people involved in human trafficking in Wisconsin. So law enforcement is on it. But every time I see these arrests, it's like there's no children with them. So what the heck? Right? I don't know. It just really bothers me. But getting back to this page, this was another one, Jane Doe 2018. They don't know her age. They just don't know who she is or who she belongs to, right? But many of these, there's no information along with them, guys. Right? There's no information. This girl has been gone since 2012. Unionville, Tennessee. She'd be 21 right now. So, Summer would be 9. How do these kids go missing without a trace? How does that happen in this day and age with cameras? I mean, I don't understand, right? Hello, Robin. DCF needs to be looked into. A friend of mine sent me a message saying DCF is getting these kids and changing their names. What is DCF? Who's getting away with what? Hello, Sam. Who is DCF? Are you talking about Child Protective Services? What is DCF? I guess I'm not following what that is. But yeah, my heart just aches. You've already sent that info to Dog. Gotcha. But who are they, Robin? Who's DCF? Am I just missing something here? Oh, Department of Children and Family. Really? Hi, Rose. Child welfare. Well, why would they do that? What do you think the reasoning for it is? That they would take these kids and change their names. Why are they doing that? I'm just curious. What do they have to gain from that? Yes, tomorrow will be 14 months missing for Sebastian. Yep. Yet another month gone by. And each month we were praying for his birthday. Then we were praying for Christmas, right? And because they can. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, I know. I know that there is corruption in Tennessee for sure. When I looked at that and it said 400 to 500, or wait, what did it say? 300 to 500 children. I gotta look again. 500 to 600 kids under the age of 18 go missing each month in Tennessee. That's crazy. That's a lot of kids. The more attention drawn to this problem, the better. So a great idea to post these missing children often, Granny. It needs an FBI center here alone for its huge problem. I agree, you know. Even, and that's why I thought, okay, I'm going to start at the top, right? And just do a quick Google, have a short little story, do a quick synopsis, and I can, you know, but I Googled and there was nothing. And I was like, what the heck? How can you not have any information on a missing child? I heard that these 6% of children out of state. That's sad. I was watching a video of DCFs wanting to check on his kids and he wouldn't let them in the house. The next day she came back with a court order to remove his kids from the home. They went to court. Wow. He got them back in 5 days. Ah. Mm. Wonder how mad America's Most Wanted is going to make us. Don't have much faith, and the feet couldn't do it at the house. I know. Well, let him talk, K9, you know. Mr. Yummy, you'll just get on that and we can watch that. And it's always fun to watch Mr. Yummy. It gives us a reason to talk about Sebastian. CPS in Tennessee, they do things way differently from other states in America. There are chances they could take these children without the. I was thinking the same thing. Because I know that in Wisconsin, they don't just take kids away willy-nilly. When I lived in Minnesota, they didn't either. They always put their feet in their mouth. K9, here's what we should be looking for in that interview tomorrow night, right? Let's all think about what did they analyze of Mr. Yummy's videos, and try to get right this time. Because we know they're watching them, and they really try, like trying to speak to Sebastian directly, and Katie just cannot do it. She cannot do it, right? So, what is she? What of the 7 points Mr. Yummy has about innocent parents of missing children, is she going to try to get right this time? I have read some bad stories about a few foster care homes. Yeah. I think I've seen so many movies on bad foster care homes and foster care children, and that it just grieves my heart, right? And when they're making movies about it, that it's real, or for the most part. 11-year-old girl was shot to death in Tennessee. Yes, lying is hard, really hard. Yeah, cash for children. Cash for children. Um, I'm sorry, 500 to 600 children missing every month in Tennessee alone. 2,300 daily in the United States. Where are these kids going, guys? Where are they going? How do 2,300 children vanish? How? And I've got to say it. Um, let's see. I think I looked at this one. Same thing. Damone Armstrong. Nothing here. Just that she was last seen April 14th in Memphis. Female, 17 years old. Nothing. Nothing else, guys. Nothing else. How does this happen? Do the parents not know what she was last wearing? Does she have birthmarks? What color are her glasses? Is this the most recent picture? What color are her eyes? How tall is she? How much does she weigh? Why don't we have this information, guys? Do you see what I'm saying? At least with Sebastian, let's see, I think he was on page 3. Yeah, okay. I have to push up my screen again. Oh, they don't have much here at all anyway. Okay. So I'm seeing something on the missing and exploited. They're not giving extra details, but still, if we Google Sebastian, we know we're going to find all kinds of stuff, right? I Googled those 2 girls that I just showed you, right? Alexis Daly and Damone Armstrong. I Googled them and found nothing. So yeah, 500 out of 2,300, 25%. That's sad. That is really sad. Texas has a lot of missing children as well. And I suppose maybe that's because it's near the border, guys. I'm thinking. Yeah. Right? It does give you more respect for Seth. He hasn't quit. You know, think of a few others out there who have not quit. Kyron, is it Horman's mom? What's that kid's name? Kyron, I think. Um, How big a population of Tennessee compared to the other states? I don't know. Exactly. I think that's the big thing. How diligent are the parents in getting their information out? I mean, when you look at Alexis and Damone right there at the top of the page, I Googled both of them and there's nothing on them. Now, if we're the parents going on a local news channel, maybe Holly Thompson doesn't care. I mean, I don't know. She's from Nashville. Yeah, I have a feeling it is very high neuro. Let's see. So the population of the United States, neuro, we'll let you do this, is 341 million. 341.96 million. Okay. 341.96 million. Population of Tennessee. 7.23 million. So there you go. Do your math, Neuro. Help us out here. Oh my goodness. So, I mean, do these parents not care that their kids are missing, that they don't even get in front of? I mean, obviously, they didn't even get on YouTube. Nothing for their missing child. They don't care? Or is it a foster child? I mean, what's going on that these two girls, I haven't even begun to go, to look further than that. These two girls, there's nothing on them. Nothing. That's sad. Why? Right? That's really sad. And then there was, let's see. There was a girl in here who asked me if I looked at Tabitha Tudor's case. East Nashville family searching for answers 20 years after Tabitha Tudor's disappearance. On April 29, 2003, a 13-year-old girl named Tabitha Tudors went missing while making her way to an East Nashville bus stop. 20 years later, her parents are marking a milestone they hope to never see. It's heartache to not know where your child's at for all these years and then still don't know nothing after 20 years. It's hard. Now here's a mother who's been searching for her child for 20 years. She hasn't given up. The Tudors family has spent every day over the past 2 decades searching for answers. It's like part of you is missing and it'll never come back until she comes back, said Bo Tudors, Tabitha's father. Bo talked about the nieces and nephews Tabitha now has, who she's yet to meet. My 10-year-old granddaughter, she will have conversations with her, Bo explained. She goes, Tabitha, you need to come home. Now come on home, Tabitha. You know we love you. Now come on home. That's sad. That's really sad. So, with Saturday, April 29th being the 20th anniversary of Tabitha's disappearance, her parents are once again putting out a plea for information. She has not vanished. Someone has taken her and misplaced her somewhere, and we don't know where she's at. We don't know where to begin to look for her at. Just a little bit of information is all we need. They might not think it's important, but it's important to us. See, I mean, we just don't know, guys. The FBI offered a $50,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in Tabitha's case. And this was a picture of Tabitha when she went missing. So this is a age progression photo of her. It just makes you wonder. The states make a lot of money for all these children. So sad. Everything has to do with money. Yeah. Hello, Noni. Good to see you. I have been educated on missing children and why they are not brought out in the open when the Maui fire took place. In my opinion, allegedly, many of the parents are undocumented and do not tell. Oh. Illegal aliens they are? Oh. Seems like her mom is one that kept her room the same all these years. That's awesome. Here's Neuro with our stats. Tennessee makes up 2.02% of the USA population, but 25% of USA children missing from Tennessee. Wow. That is sad. It's very sad, Robin. Thank you for that, Neuro. 25%. That's horrible. That's horrible. Guys, something's got to be done about the corruption in Tennessee. We need good officers. We need honest politicians with morals who will not take money under the table. Yeah, 25% in one state is outrageous. It is. That's horrible. That's crazy. Hi, Sammy. Good to see you. Yeah. And, and you guys, I can't imagine having my child gone for 20 years. She's not the only one, right? But there are miracles. Elizabeth Smart's one of them, right? There are miracles that happen out there. Sometimes these kids come home after a while as grown-ups. They, and they need to. And when I think of Sebastian, I can't even imagine Seth 19 years from now. I mean, come on. No. Yeah, 25% in a state with 2% of the population. Yeah. Yep. It's really high. Yes, it is. Sounds like trafficking. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I'm sorry. They can They can be proud of themselves all they want for arresting traffickers and putting them behind bars, but they need the children. We need the children back. Like I said, there were 9 that were arrested in Wisconsin either yesterday or today. Where are the children? Where are the children? Remember we talked about there were some that I forget how many in Tennessee not too long ago, but they only found 2 children. Yep, Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped when she was a child. And she didn't return home until after she was an adult. So it's possible, guys. It is very possible. So I think we're all on the same page with the fact that these children should be talked about more. Their faces need to be out there. Yeah, where are these children? What do you guys think? Do you think that I should be doing something weekly on them? What are your thoughts? I think we can all agree that these kids' faces need to be out there. They need to be talked about, even if I can't find anything on them. Two news said Sebastian could have been trafficked a couple months ago. Um, I don't think that's as far-fetched as people may think. I think he could have been trafficked. I think labor trafficking, in my opinion, is a very real possibility for Sebastian on a farm that has animals. I could see that. I don't think that Sebastian would be good in like a Venezuela gang or anything like that. Um, but a labor farm, I could see it. Um, so let me see here. CJC, Tabitha's sister failed 3 lie detector tests, and Tabitha's dad said she didn't like her sister's boyfriend and would bring her pillow and blanket and sleep beside their bed. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, you know what they say, guys. It's always family or somebody close to the family, or most often family and somebody close to the family. Right? Right, Noni? You know, and I got to tell you something, guys. I'm sitting here thinking I'm a channel of 1,400, right? Not very big, but willing to do everything that I can to get exposure for these kids. What about all these other channels who all they want to do is cut down other creators? Couldn't their time be better spent? I'm just saying. It really irritates me. And guys, this is only Tennessee. This is only Tennessee. I haven't even begun to look at the 2,300 that go missing daily from the United States. I think somebody was keeping him. Honestly, he's being moved around, I think. It's TBI's job to find them, but it's not working. Guys, we know that the more exposure that someone gets, the better chance of finding them. I have to wonder if Dog and At Night had been brought in sooner and those billboards would have went up right after Sebastian went missing, would he still be missing today? If everything was flooded. I'm just saying. Maybe talk about a missing child every morning for your morning story. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that. I could talk about a missing child every morning and maybe every night before I start talking about Sebastian. That'd be at least 2 every day. So let me see here. Katie and Chris removed Sebastian Rogers from Chris Proudfoot's home. They're both responsible for Sebastian Rogers' whereabouts. They are. I can see KP agreeing to him being sent away to be somewhere like that, but what I fear is her agreeing, but CP in a rage may not have sent him away, but ended the chance for him to be found. God, I hope not. I understand what you're saying, no, Noni. Yeah. Yeah. And guys, these traffickers have the politicians in their pockets. I'm just saying. They do. Their son died of an overdose? Yeah, it was Linton. Wow. That's scary. No worries, Noni. I know what you mean. Yes. So a while back, and I did a video on it, guys. I did a live on it. Trying to remember the name of the town in Oregon. And there's a park there that's a pretty popular tourist place, like for fishing and stuff. And allegedly, a month, I think in March, either March or April, Chris and Katie were seen there. Although Chris has been asked if he was there and he denies it. But there was a lady that said she talked to them. At that park. And so, I mean, that would not surprise me in the least little bit. Yeah. Corruption at the highest level, for sure. The DA for Sumner County, who knows what other DAs in that state, and we know the governor because of the Solomon case. Same thing. The governor is corrupt. My fear is that no one will ever speak up now because if they cut a deal, they will also be charged with an accessory to the crime. Yeah. Well, think about it. There's a $500,000 reward, right? $500,000 is a lot of money. You know, what that tells me is that family is involved because family won't speak up for 500,000. If there's other people involved, they may be afraid of being an accessory, but still, if they get a deal, if they get caught, there's no deal. They don't get the money, there's no deal. They're gonna spend the rest of their life behind bars. If they make a plea deal because they're gonna testify and tell everything that they know, they may not have to spend as much time in jail. So, I mean, there's a couple of different ways to look at that. All you gotta do is listen to some of the Diddy case stuff and wow, Epstein and other yeah. Yeah. Ugh. The things that go on, right? It Why would you put yourself in a position like that just to be famous? Not me. Yeah. And yeah, you're right, Meme. And hello, we're happy to have you. We're only seeing the reported children. That's right. That's a really good point, guys. Because how many other children have walked away and nobody's paid any attention? Unfortunately, I think it may come down to one of the kids in that family coming forward years down the road. That's the one I was talking about, Ford Pond in Oregon. Yes, that's the one I was talking about. Ford Pond in Oregon. If you think about it, guys, they were not very smart. I mean, behavior analysis, statement analysis have all talked about the fact that they lie, right? And then, I mean, they're at Ford Pond. They're not very smart. And if it's found that Sebastian is in Oregon or was in Oregon, how dumb. They think just because they're out of state, they're not going to be found out. Excuse me, there are eyes everywhere in today's world. The one at Fort Pond filed a police report. Yes, she did. One left from my hometown and listed as runaway. They found her deceased in Hendersonville. Guys, these poor kids. I can't even. Our children need to be protected. This just grieves my heart so bad I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. It's horrible. I know. They couldn't wait till Seth took him. Yeah. Maybe one of the nieces will say something eventually. Well, hasn't the stepbrother already said something? But they're not listening, law enforcement. Or evidently he doesn't know enough. I don't know. It, I cannot understand. You know, I do know that because there are so many missing children's cases, our police stations are bombarded. They don't have the amount of man-hours that it takes. But guys, I mean, maybe that's something to look up, but back when I was young, okay, it didn't seem like people went missing that much. So is it really the trafficking thing? What is it? Because it's not so easy to, as some people put it, get gone in today's world. There are cameras everywhere. How does this happen? I'm thinking it's a stepbrother or a half brother. I don't know. He said something on Facebook a while back. I'm in Florida. My daughter would run away. Not against the law here. I would report her and she would get posted. After she was 18, they still had her on the list. So they never really actively did anything because it wasn't against the law. Well, we're happy to have you, Meme. Tennessee is rural. That is key. Well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of rural area, but there is everywhere, guys. If you think about it, I mean, other than if you're living in New York, there's nothing really rural there. In New York City, that is. But Nashville is huge. Knoxville's big. Chattanooga's big. Memphis is big. So I mean, but Hendersonville, yeah, there's a lot of rural areas. There's a lot of rolling hills and terrain. Bowersox Jr. Yes, Sammy, you're right. It was, yep. Was his name Chris Chu, I think? Yeah. And I didn't pay much attention to him because he didn't seem to have a whole lot of information, actual information. But I mean, who knows? I mean, I think he was estranged from the family, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Terry. Okay. Oh, that's right. It was Terry Jr. You're right. But uh, I mean, we don't know. I suppose he could have information. I don't know. Yeah. The truth is known and dollars has corrupted. Good point, meme. Good point. Really good point. It's true, guys. There's so much corruption in Tennessee that I really do think it's a very real possibility that Katie sold Sebastian. Possibility, my opinion. Into a labor trafficking unit. Sorry. Had to sneeze. Obviously a big problem in Sumner because it seems like this family has scared almost an entire town from speaking. Yeah. I just read again today where the whole neighborhood is afraid to talk. Or even just hand it over and not for money. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, I suppose. I just think that Katie likes money. Money and prestige, power. Um, gosh. So, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I'll do one person in the morning and one person in the evening to try and start getting some of these names out there. Just not sure how to pick them. Do we need to focus on Tennessee because it's so bad? Is that where the focus needs to be? I agree with you, Neuro. But I'm only one little old granny here. Yeah, money and kinky stuff, you're right. A lot of swinging going on in that town, that county. Reminds me of a song, and I'm not gonna sing it. Oh, man. But it does need the highest media attention to stop it, but I don't is somebody gonna pick it up from me? I don't know. I suppose it's always a possibility. Did I hear a while back CP has family in Florida? I don't know. It's possible. I heard that there is family in Portland, not Oregon, but Portland, Tennessee, where I used to live. In a very rural area. the sad and bad thing is true investigative journalists is what's needed. But here's the thing. I think that At Night had been trying to do that, guys. But look at what happened, right? Look at what happened. They started getting threats on their lives. I'm telling you, they started getting threats on their lives. Listen, guys, I'll tell you something very real here. You know, I wouldn't say this if it wasn't true. Not too long after they came on the case, I had sent in a tip or something. I had a direct link to Nick, right? Nick and I were chatting back and forth. When their lives got when the threats went out on them and their lives were threatened, all of a sudden I heard back from somebody at Night saying that they couldn't, Nick couldn't respond anymore, that, they couldn't give any information out because of the threats, that kind of thing. And that is when that all went south. I still haven't, I'm able to send tips to them, but it's no longer am I talking to Nick directly. And many of our older people in here that have been with us from the beginning know that Nick used to come in our chat quite a bit every once in a while. But yeah, it's really sad. So I think that's the problem, is that anyone who tries to dig into this stuff is threatened. Heck, they're threatened just for even looking for Sebastian. If it comes out, if this happened to Sebastian, it will blow it out of the water and something will have to be done. Yeah. As a mother of 2 autistic teenagers, all those 3 parents of Sebastian, they all need to get a grip and understand Sebastian's behavior would never go away. Well, he was just recently diagnosed with autism, and I kind of question that. None of the family wants to be a traitor to whoever did this. Yeah. Yes. Just recently, I believe, right? Maybe we could research one child from our own state. We could actually do that, guys. We could do I don't know if we'd want to do it every week, but even once a month, everybody take a child from their own state and you can come on panel. We'll, just do like a short 5 minutes, talk about it. Everybody talk about that child from their own state. That'd be fun to have different people up on panel doing that. You don't have to show your face, just like I don't show mine. You wouldn't want to see this old granny face every day. And I don't put on makeup every day, so That would be fun. I'd be up for it. Yeah, if it wasn't for Nick, we wouldn't know about the flashlights. I agree. Arrested for hanging signs. Yeah. Mr. Chris just told us that he went after Nick through his PO. Yep. Or, yes, you can email me a child of interest. That'd be fine. Here's my email address. I'll leave it up there for you guys for now. But yeah, I mean, even if you guys wanted to come up, talk on panel, that'd be fine, right? I'm willing. I want to get more attention out here for these kids. It's really on my heart to do that. I'm thinking that every day I put out a short about Sebastian. Maybe I could add another short. It's going to be a lot of work. But how else can it be done, guys? I don't know, right? I guess what I would ask though is if we do this, if you guys could share, like go in and take the short that I put out that day about another missing child and share it on your social media, Just keep it going. Because you guys know people I don't know, right? It's just something's got to be done. Well, yeah, I think it doesn't matter where they go missing from, does it? I mean, if they're missing, they're missing. Should a child that's in a foster home be any different than a child that lived in a good home that went missing? I mean, I have thought about that fact, Melissa, but I gotta tell you, I hesitate on that. It sounds weird, I know. It's not that I won't entertain talking to willing parents, but with everything that has happened in Sebastian Rogers' case and the sides that are taken, and I mean, that just kind of proves to me that getting to know the parents might not be a very good thing, right? I mean, do you guys understand what I'm saying? It seems like anytime that has happened, there's been a problem. I heard that the Summer Wells case was bad for that. We know Sebastian's was. Right, Samantha, and that's usually when children get diagnosed is when they're younger with autism. Not that it can't happen, but it's very, very rare to be diagnosed at the age of 15 with autism. Um, and because of the corruption that's in that town, and because we know that Chris and Katie were trying to get him put into a home, I really wonder if the autism diagnosis wasn't just an under the table paid thing to try and get him into one of those homes. I could be totally wrong. This is my opinion. It's all alleged, right? Um, so I mean, I could be totally wrong. Um, to me, he had a lot of symptoms of PTSD, CPTSD. Yeah, the fact that there was absolutely no evidence does point to every experience of making a child go poof. Maybe if it's an older cold case and maybe having an appearance, and like I said, I'm not against having a parent on at all. Um, I Here's the thing, I just would not want to be the catalyst for somebody then to pick up the story, start running with it, and then all of a sudden, you got people digging into their lives and doxing them and doing all the stuff that was done in Sebastian Rogers' case against both sets of parents, guys. You know what I'm saying? There you go. And after we did a show on that complex post-traumatic stress disorder, um, and Sebastian really fell into that category huge. I think COVID has prevented many being diagnosed earlier. I'm possible. Gotcha. You're not on social media. Just chat a little on YouTube or stay in the bushes. Well, that's all right. We're happy to have you, Meme. I asked Seth, and he told me that it was because of military red tape that it took so long. It was a really long time ago, like in the beginning. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Exactly, Melissa. I don't want another hornet's nest open. I do not want to be the catalyst to hurt parents of a missing child ever, ever. I have seen that sometimes kids that are level 1, aka high functioning, may not appear super obvious that they have something until their peers grow out of certain things and they continue to do them. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's my heart. I would never want to hurt someone, right? Now, guys, I will say this. So I think I would never dox anyone, right? Um, Now, when we have talked about Chris and Katie, it's because of what we've discovered throughout this past year, right? Um, but doxing them, totally different scenario. Researching their family history, going into all of the, I that really doesn't have anything to do with Sebastian. In my opinion, the only time that knowing their family history would have anything to do with Sebastian is if one of their family had Sebastian, right? So, you know, yeah, I would never ever want that to happen. Never. Yeah. And that's why I encourage you guys to go back and look at the video that we did about the difference between autism and CPTSD. Um, a lot of similarities, a lot. Um, so hard to tell. Very hard to tell. Um, Sebastian is not nonverbal. He's able to converse. Yeah, I hear you there, Sammy. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't know Sebastian, so it's just a thought of mine because we know that they were trying to get him put into a home. Um, and you pretty much need that diagnosis, you know. Yeah, his movement when he's walking. I mean, it it sure would be nice to have him home, right? Because I think that, I mean, as time went by and if Seth brought him on a video with him at some point, um, we could get to see what Sebastian's like, right? But we don't have that. We've only seen very few clips of him, right? Um, so it's really hard to tell. It's really difficult to tell. Um, and honestly, guys, I cannot go by what Chris and Katie said because in the beginning they made him sound like the word Chris likes to use. And it even made Seth mad because Seth said, "They're talking about my child like when he was 4 years old." You know, not the way he is now, right? And then Katie came out and said, "Well, in the beginning things were misconstrued." No, who, you know, she's the one that put that stuff out there. So, you know, exactly. Yeah. Um, I think in the beginning, if a family reached out to me, that would be different, right? Um, but just to reach out to them, you know, if my channel were bigger, I guess I'd think about it more, but I don't know how much I could do for them at this point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still have a reach, I think, with all my media, my social media, but, you know, not enough. Not enough for what I wanna be able to do. Oh, good point, Ginger. You told me this before and I forgot about it. Her son has the same gait as Sebastian, but it is linked to the fluid pocket on his brain. Hydrocephalus should also be considered. Sebastian had multiple health issues, and he did have the fluid pocket on his brain. So there you go. See, and that's the thing. We don't know enough about Sebastian's medical history to know for sure. I completely understand homeschooling, Sammy. My youngest had ADHD. Oh, she was a handful. Um, and I wanted her to always be at her level, right? So I think I was working, I had to work 2 jobs at one point, and so I tried to get her put into regular school. She should have gone into the 2nd grade, and they tested her, and they said, "No, we're just gonna put her in a regular class," and I said, "No, but you don't understand. If you put her in a regular class, she's gonna fall behind, and I don't want that for her." And they said, "Well, we cannot offer her the special program because she's not behind." And I said, "I didn't homeschool my child to get her behind. I want her to be at her normal grade level." Oh, I was so upset and angry. Um, so my long story short, I continued to homeschool her. My mom helped me. My mom watched her and helped me with it, right? Oh, so very frustrating, but Um, and then, yes, I did that because homeschooling is huge, but we were involved in a church that had kids her age, and, so, you know, she had quite a lot of interaction with other human beings, and so that worked out really well. The past couple of weeks, things have happened on YouTube, had me going back questioning things such as the glasses found near the road, the socks live on. Um, well, so Seth said they looked enough like him that they could be. That's why he had them. They were his searchers. He had them bag and tag them. Um, but the police said they weren't. And Seth said, well, the police said that they were not Sebastian. So, um, oh, they were just reading glasses. Gotcha. Oh, thank you, Samantha. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. It means the world to me. Oh, yes, Melissa. I 1,000% agree with you. You know, you can't you can't discipline ADHD out of a child. You can't discipline autism out of a child. That's so frustrating. But Mr. Chris thought he could. Man up. Oh, had we known that they were going to try to put him in a home. Yeah, I know. Well, you know, if they had just said to Seth, "We can't do this anymore," you know, I think, and yes, we know that they were talking back and forth with Seth in these emails about a home. Um, But I think Seth was taking them at their word because they were saying Sebastian can't be handled anymore, right? Um, they're probably making it out that he's gotten so bad, he's doing this and this, you know. But I think if they would have just said, Seth, you take him, he would have in a heartbeat. Do you guys realize um how Seth must be just kicking himself and angry with himself for not having taken Sebastian, you know, wishing he would have seen the signs, wishing Sebastian would have told him, wishing, wishing. But you can't do that. You can't do that, you know. And I know it's got to be eating away at him. My heart goes out to him, right? His truck, the HIPAA. Yeah. Wait, there was something else. What else was it? There was one other thing, guys. Mama, truck, HIPAA. What else was it? My mind went blank. um Aw. I remember hearing Seth say he needed to find Sebastian so he could apologize for not knowing and protecting him. Oh man. Billboards. Thank you, Kanan. I knew you would know it. Billboards. Yes, billboards. Man, we need to get to church, COVID, you know. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. 100%. Um, mother truck and billboards and HIPAA. Oh man. Oh goodness. So, guys, if there is somebody from your state that you want me to focus on, please send me the information, okay? Um, you know, if it's a name, where they're missing from, what day they went missing, that kind of thing, state, city and state. Please send that to me and I will look into those. And yes, I'm just going to start focusing on one daily. I heard a creator say to CP, let me explain it, but to you, I bet that didn't go over well, Melissa. Oh, because you cannot tell him anything. He wants to tell us a few things, right? Oh goodness, um I cannot wait. What time is that supposed to be tomorrow night on Fox? She should have, right? But I don't think she cared. I don't think she thought anything was wrong with CP. Honestly, I think she blamed it all on Sebastian. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Allegedly, I think she blamed it all on Sebastian. Sh Guys, it goes back to something I said quite a while ago. She never bonded with that young man. She never did. Because if she had, she would be a mother that was out there like, oh, Brandy, right? Um, like Hiram Horman's mom, like Gabby's family. She never has. She never has. Never. And I don't honestly think she wanted him to be with Seth, and I think that's why she let him go. Think about it. The 26th was a big number for her. It was the day she filed for divorce from Seth, and the 26th is the day that Sebastian went missing. Early morning hours of the 26th. Last seen on the 25th. I think she didn't want Seth to have him. I think Chris is the one that was trying to get Seth to take Sebastian. Katie didn't want that. That's my opinion. I could be totally wrong. But she never bonded with that young man. Never. She was in the Navy. Seth was the stay-at-home mom. You know, he bonded with Sebastian. He was the stay-at-home mom for many years until their divorce. I don't remember how old Sebastian was at that point, but he is the one that bonded with Sebastian. He knew what Sebastian was capable of, what he was not capable of. Yeah, well, he's very controlling. Very, very controlling. The last rant that well, the one and only rant that Seth did against him, I loved because he said, "I'm not afraid of you." You know, he's very controlling. He's a bully. He tries to bully people. And that's why most of us are so triggered by him, I think, because we have been around bullies, whether in domestic violence or what have you, right? And it triggers us. So, yeah, just crazy, um, crazy stuff. I want Sebastian home yesterday, guys. I really do. I This young man needs to be home with his dad. And I'm really afraid that if he's not brought home, that whoever was responsible will get away with it because of the corruption in Tennessee. That's my fear. Very much so, Samantha, very much so. Oh, that's right, he was 7 to 8 years old. So, that means that he was 7 or 8, um so from the time he was born until he was 7 or 8, Seth is the one that stayed home with him. That's quite the bond there, guys. I think he kind of let us know what he thought in that last rant. I honestly, Canine, I really believe, in my opinion, that he feels that Katie and Chris are responsible. He has come very close to it because he has, when people have asked him, he has said Katie was the last one to see him. He was in their home. They were responsible, he has said. That kind of gives you an idea. Oh, I couldn't say that any better. Your last children with medical issues have unique abilities and need to be seen as individuals. So true. So true. Guys, it's one thing to slap a label on someone, right? Like my daughter, I told you she had ADHD. But I will tell you that when they tried to put her on Ritalin and my bubbly, fun, bouncing off the walls, goofy daughter turned into a sullen, whiny, mopey, stomach hurting child, I said, no, you're not going to do this to her. You're not going to take away. Oh, but boy, when she was on that Ritalin, she could focus. Oh, her focus was perfect. She could get her schoolwork done lickety split, right? Because she was never stupid, right? She was intelligent. But she was whiny and mopey and complained of her stomach. And I said, no, you're not taking my daughter's personality from her. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. I took her off. It meant I homeschooled her till the day she got out of high school, but I didn't care. I didn't care. We live in a world where medical labels get you special funding. And I agree with that. Right? I agree with that. And that is what Katie was hoping to get as well. She was hoping to get that funding. Chris and Katie lies about Faith age. Katie lies about Sebastian falling asleep at 9 because they were still in the Texas Roadhouse at 8. No, Samantha, they weren't still at Texas Roadhouse at 8, still eating. There's video to prove that they weren't still there at 8:00. They left like I'd have to go back and look at the video. But it wasn't 8:00. So anyway, yeah, send me people that you want me to focus on, and I'll start from the top and do one every day. And we'll see where we get. If I do come across something that seems urgent, obviously I'll do that one. But I'm going to continue to focus on Tennessee for now because it's such a high rate of missing. Yeah. Well, they do, but they only have so much space in those classes in the US. She did lie about that, getting them up at 6, because Seth said it was 7 something that the school bus comes by. It was a special bus. Yeah, there are too many lies on the case for sure. Too many. All right. So I'm gonna share my grannyism with you today. Live your life. Take chances, be crazy. Don't wait. Because right now is the oldest you have ever been and the youngest you'll ever be again. Isn't that interesting? Right now is the oldest you have ever been and the youngest you'll be ever again. I saw that. I'm like, wow. Very, very true. You know, in a moment of weakness, Seth did say he thought KP gave too much sleeping medicine. I don't know if he's ever said that again on Pascal, maybe if I come across the clip. Yeah, I do remember him saying that. Um, you know, I think it was one of those moments when I think more and more just kind of the way he talked even in his last rant. I think he's starting to think it could be a possibility that Sebastian's no longer with us. But he doesn't want to go there, and I agree with him. There's no evidence that Sebastian is gone, so we won't go there until or unless we have evidence that says such. Yeah. And yes, that's what I'm going to close on. The rate of the missing in Tennessee when compared to other states is troubling and very shocking. It is. It is. It's awful. Oh, he's on tonight. He's going hard after him. Uh-oh. He's asking for it. All right, guys. I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Please, please, please hit the like button on your way out. And we'll see you on the next one. Have a great night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.